Good afternoon. I'm California State Treasurer Fiona Ma, and I would like to welcome you to this CalABLE webinar. As State Treasurer, I believe that CalABLE is an excellent financial tool for Californians with disabilities. For the first time, eligible individuals on means-tested benefit programs can save up to $100,000 without having their benefits impacted. CalABLE is a game changer, providing people with disabilities a low-cost, tax-advantaged way to save and invest for a better financial future. I am committed to promoting this program and for doing all that I can to continue to help people with disabilities strengthen their financial position to achieve a better life experience. Thank you for joining us today and for your continued support of the CalABLE program. I will turn things over to the CalABLE team to begin today's webinar. Good afternoon.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining. My name is Thomas Martin. I am Executive Director for CalABLE. So before we get started, I just wanted to mention one thing. So July is Disability Pride Month. And so that makes this really the perfect topic for this month's webinar, using your CalABLE account. Because, I know Disability Pride might mean different things for different people. For me, what it means is making it clear that I as a person with disabilities, that I and others with disabilities have the same rights to independence and self-determination that that people without disabilities have. There's no difference in that regard. And CalABLE for me is a way to get that done. This isn't a job. This is a mission. And our mission is really to help people maximize their independence, their self-advocacy, their self-determination, and that maximum that might look like different things for different people, but our job is to make sure we can provide the right tools that people need for themselves and for their loved ones, and in accordance with the subject for this webinar, on how to be able to use CalABLE to really maximize that benefit. So with that said, I'll get off my soapbox. And we'll go to the first item we want to talk about. We want to hear a little bit from you. So you'll be receiving instructions for a poll. If folks could please fill that out and let us know a little bit about yourself, I would appreciate it. We'll give folks a few moments to complete the poll. So please sit tight.
Okay, I've closed the poll.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you want to go through the results?
Sure. So we have a lot of authorized legal representatives / parents on today, about 60% people on. Good number of account owners as well, 15%. I see some state employees and service providers here to learn some information about how to support their clients. And for the potential CalABLE participants, hopefully what you learned today will help you take that next step to open your CalABLE account.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so really appreciate it. So if we can, let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about what is CalABLE before we get into how to use it. So what is CalABLE? CalABLE is a tax-advantaged savings and investment program. It's part of a federal program that was signed into law in 2014 that allows people with disabilities to create savings programs, savings accounts that are tax-advantaged and that help them maintain benefits. So CalABLE is California's execution of the ABLE program. It's run by the state of California. Our program is chaired by the treasurer, who you just met a few moments ago. And so again, this allows people to maintain Social Security benefits, SSI benefits, Medi-Cal, other types of benefits that have asset limits. Many of those programs are exempted from that CalABLE is exempted from those asset caps. Okay, next slide. So who is eligible for a CalABLE account? So in order to have an ABLE account, you have to have a disability that stems from before the age of 26. It doesn't mean you have to be under the age of 26. I have an ABLE account. I'm certainly not under the age of 26. It just means that your disability had to have started before then. So in my case, it started from birth. So I qualify, even though I'm older than 26. The disability has to meet certain criteria. So it has to meet the criteria for disability benefits like SSI, Supplemental Security Income, or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, or it can be self-certified based on the Social Security Administration's list of compassionate allowances. And it's not required, but it's recommended that you have a physician sign a letter just make it clear that your disability qualifies. Yes, but there's more information that we provide on our website if folks need more information. But effectively, it's someone needs to have this level of disability, have a eligible disability criteria, and be under the age of 26, and then you can be eligible for the program. Next slide, please. So we're going to talk about a couple of main topics today. Going in order, we're going to talk about contributing to an ABLE account, to a CalABLE account, investing within the CalABLE account, and then withdrawing from the account, and what each of those things look like. And then at the end, we have some special guests, some of our ambassadors who are CalABLE account owners. They're going to speak a little bit to how they use their accounts, and what CalABLE means for them, and what it means for their lives, and how they really benefit from it. Next slide. And here's what our website looks like, calable.ca.gov. So if you take nothing else away from this, please go to the website at some point. There's more information there. You can also sign up for an account there as well. So please do so. Okay, next slide. So our first big topic is going to be contributing to the CalABLE account. So how much can you contribute? So annually, you can contribute up to $18,000 into the account. Those are contributions on an annual basis. The total amount, including both contributions and earnings, can be $100,000 if you're an SSI recipient. If you're not receiving benefits, you're not concerned about maintaining benefits, then the high cap is $529,000. But again, it's $18,000 per year. And if you ever try to contribute more than that, the system won't let you. So you don't have to worry about that. You will get notified that you can't contribute more. But it is a pretty high cap for each year. Next slide, please. Now, there is an additional higher cap. If the recipient of the benefits is working, and their employer does not contribute to a retirement plan that year, they have a higher cap. So there's a calculation. The maximum possible is $32,580 per year. That includes the $18,000 annual cap. So it can go up to that amount, but it's a calculation depending on the annual gross salary or the federal poverty lower, whichever is lower. Next slide, please. So let's talk about how you can actually contribute to the account. So there's a handful of options that you can use. One is that you can set up, you can do a one-time contribution. You can also set up recurring contributions. You can also have direct deposits of Social Security benefits. So that your Social Security benefits go straight into your ABLE account. You can also set up direct deposits through work. And then the last option, you can also contribute to account via check. So now let's take a look at what that actually looks like on the website, just so folks have a sense of what we're talking about here. So this is a sample of what you see on if you're to contribute, to make a contribution. what it'll do is you go to the website, you select that you want to make a contribution, and it'll give you options for where you want to contribute from. You can see the options here. You can do one-time contribution, you can do recurring contribution, and you can select from one of the sources I previously mentioned. Next slide, please. Now, if you, like I mentioned, if you're part of the Able to Work program, if you're working and your employer doesn't contribute to retirement benefits that calendar year, there is that higher contribution cap. So you can select if that applies to you when you're making the contribution. Next slide, please. And then step number 3, you can select which portfolio you want to make the contribution into. And we'll get to those portfolios in just a moment. But you can select, in this case, the FDIC insured portfolio is something they already contribute to, so it's showing up as an option that they can add to. But they can also contribute to a new investment. Thank you, Madeline, for helpfully circling with your pointer. You'd also contribute to a new investment if there's a different portfolio you want to contribute to as well. So the goal is to try to make this as simple as possible, but still allow you to make different choices for whatever circumstance you're in. And then if we go to the next slide, you can see what's this is the last step in the contribution process. So at this point, you'd be just simply reviewing it, making sure that what you picked is what you want, and then you just hit submit, and it's good to go. So you can see here, this is the confirmation page that you'd get once you make your contribution. Okay. So if we can go to the next slide, please. Now, like I mentioned, we have 2 very special guests, 2 of our ambassadors who like me, are account holders. So the first person we'll hear from both of our ambassadors in a bit, but we do have these nice little videos. So we're going to show this video from Curtis talking a little bit about how he uses his account.
I am Curtis. I'm 42 years old. I live in Northridge, California. I like to do gardening, playing the piano, take pictures of action shots, nature, and people. I have Tourette's, ADHD, and I went to biofeedback when I was a kid to help it, and now I'm a lot better. I work at Albertsons, and I use the money when I get paid to put into the CalABLE account to save. So I can save for long term for my retirement, and like if I need long-term care, and using it for like as an emergency fund if I need emergency money. And I also save for like short-term, like getting groceries, save up for trips, and also personal needs. The best feature for CalABLE is if you want to do a gifting, you can. People could ask, for like birthday gifts if they want. Instead of getting an actual birthday gift, they can ask them to put money into the CalABLE account. We are CalABLE!
Thank you. So yeah, like Curtis mentioned, one of the great options about an Able account is you can set up a gifting page. And so you can set this up. You can send anyone the link to it, friends, family, complete strangers, whoever you want, and have them contribute to it. It's great. It's awesome. I have these for my kids. So we can set to family members who want to contribute to just their general savings. It's amazing. And so now when you get contributions through the gifting page, it doesn't count as income. I mean, sorry, it doesn't count as income, but it does count toward your contribution limit. So again, going back $18,000 per year, that's the standard amount you can contribute, assuming you're not in the Able to Work program. So it does count as part of that cap. However, the CalABLE program will know. So if someone tries to contribute more than the $18,000 cap, then it wouldn't let the contributions go through. So you wouldn't have to worry about any impact to your benefits or anything. So you can send this out, friends, family, post on Facebook, wherever you want to put it. You can personalize. So you have a personal link to your own gifting page, and share you can share the message that you want to share and have people to add, provide you gift that way. So if we can go to the next slide, we can take a look at this. This is what the landing page actually looks like. So when if you want to set up a gift page, it's really easy. It took me 1 minute, maybe less, to do it for each of my kids. You just select the option to go to the gifting page. It takes you to this page, which provides you a little bit of information. You just hit get started, and it'll take you to the next page where you actually set up how you want it to work. So you can set up the limit of gifts that you want. You can do that in advance if you'd like. If you know how much you're planning to contribute to the program, for example, to your ABLE account, you might decide, okay, well, I don't want people to contribute more than, $500, whatever it is, because you want to make sure you can continue to contribute yourself. However you want to set that up, that's up to you. You can also decide to share that limit, or you can not show it. Either way is fine. And then, as you can see at the bottom, you can also choose where to put your contributions, meaning which of the investment options you want to use for your for those gifts. And then once you select those options, you hit the button understanding how it works, and that there's a delay of up to 10 days before you can withdraw it. You would hit review, and then that takes you to this. Contribute to Tim's future. Tim is the test account that we have. So this is what it looks like. This is what people would see. So you send the link to this page. It's a specific page just for you or just for whoever's account it is. And when someone clicks that link, it'll take them right to this, and they can go through the steps and make that gift. So it's really great. It's great for birthdays. It's great for holidays. It's just great if you want people to give you money in general. Either way works. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about what to do with the money once it's in your account. So investing in your account. So CalABLE has a series of portfolios that are professionally managed. These allow for the potential for tax-free growth. As always, it's when you're dealing with investments, there's always some level of risk. But we have these great portfolios that allow for this potential of tax-free growth, and it allows for you to be able to build your wealth through compound earnings over time. So it can really add up. The sooner you start saving, the better the benefit's going to be in the long term. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's hear from you. If you can fill out this poll for us, please, and let us know what you are hoping to do with the CalABLE account, either for yourself or if you're one of the many people who are here to help support a loved one with their account, what your goal would be for them.
Okay, we're at a minute, so I will end it and share these results. So we have a lot of people who are saving for the future. So that is great to see. 42%. We have a lot of people using their CalABLE account for those day-to-day expenses like bills, groceries, gas, 21% there. And then we have people saving for a specific item, maybe a big purchase like a car or a house, 16%. And then a lot of people with a mix of goals. So that is really great to see. Thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you. Yes. So I think what's great about the CalABLE account is that it can mean different things for different people. depending on your situation, your circumstances, or if you're supporting someone else with their account, depending on their circumstances, you can make different decisions about how you want to save, what level of risk that you're willing to accept. You know, are you thinking more long term? Are you thinking more day to day? The account is it's many things for many people. So if we can go to the next slide, um, one more poll question that we wanted to ask. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much financial risk are you willing to take in your investment portfolio? So we'll give folks a minute to fill that out. But just to kind of note, when we say financial risk, we're talking about the chance of losing money, not earning as much money as expected when making financial decisions or investments.
Okay, I have ended the poll, and we'll share these results. So we have a range of financial risks that people are willing to take. Some people are not willing to take financial risk, and that is certainly okay. 23% of people there. A lot of people are right in the middle. So 45% of people were a 3. They're willing to take some financial risk. And then some people maybe thinking a little bit more long term are a 5 and are more willing to take that financial risk. So a pretty wide range there, and that's always very interesting to see.
Thanks. Yeah, and so again, same thing. CalABLE can mean different things for different people, depending on the circumstances. You might be willing to focus on one of the higher growth options that has a little more risk, or you might be more concerned about risk and want to go with one of the different options. It can mean different things for different people. So with that, if we can go to the next slide. um, we're gonna watch a short video about those investment options, and so you can get a better sense of what we're talking about when we talk about these different portfolios. So go ahead.
Hello and welcome to CalABLE. As you know, ABLE accounts are a great way to save money without accounting against the asset limits for the benefits that you utilize on a regular basis. Today, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the different savings and investing options that we have within CalABLE. But first, it's important to know that savings and investing goals, they're different for each person. So you're going to have to make a decision for yourself where the right place or the right places is for you to save your money. Choosing the right investment option depends on a few different things. First, it depends on whether you're saving for the short term. This might be an item that you want to purchase in the next year or two, or maybe you're saving for the long term. This might be an item you want to purchase many years down the road. The second thing you need to keep in mind is it depends on the financial risk that you're willing to take with the money. Here are a few different savings goals. These are just examples. If you're saving your money for something that you want to buy 5 or more years in the future, you may want to choose one of the investment options within CalABLE. If you're saving your money for something you want to buy in a year or two, something more short term, you may want to choose the FDIC insured cash option. Or maybe you're saving for the short term and the long term. In this case, you might want to save in different places. Maybe you want to save in the FDIC insured cash option for the shorter term and one of the investment options for the longer term. These are all options available to you. Let's take a closer look at the 8 different savings and investing options inside CalABLE. As you can see from this chart, each savings or investing option is made up of a different mix of stocks, bonds, money market securities, and FDIC insured custodial account. Each one of these options carries a slightly different potential financial risk, and therefore a slightly different potential financial return. At the very top, we see the FDIC insured option. This is very similar to a savings account that you have at your bank or your credit union. This is insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Commission and is a very secure option. As you step down this list, you start to take on slightly higher financial risk and, as I mentioned before, slightly higher potential return on those investments. Shorter term savings might fit better in the upper section, while longer term savings might fit better in the lower section. This is a choice you will need to make for yourself. Here we'll see a little bit more information about the underlying stocks, bonds, and money market securities that make up each of the savings and investment options. As you can see from this list, each option is made up of a different percentage of a Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard funds. All of this information is on the CalABLE website for you to look into more detail. Now, although the historical performance of funds does not predict the future financial return, you can also find this information on the CalABLE website for more information. Again, we can't give you financial advice, but we are here if you have any questions on the program. If you have questions, please reach us at CalABLE Service Center. The phone number is listed here. We're open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we're happy to help. And if you don't mind, spend a moment reviewing the disclosure listed on this slide. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, so some really helpful information in that video. You know, one thing to keep in mind is that that your decisions can change. You know, if you're thinking about creating an account, if you don't have an account now, you can select your investment options today, and in the future contributions, you can pick something else, or you can also exchange between the portfolios as well. So you have this option, and importantly, you have multiple options that you can use, and you can change your mind at different points too. So so some resources that we'll point to. First thing, more information about the investment options you can see from this first link. That'll be in these slides will be available to folks. One thing that's pointed to in the video, which I think is personally is very helpful for me, you can see the historical performance for each of those portfolios. That can help you decide or help you get a better feel for how each of the portfolios works. And in the program disclosure booklet, which there's a link to, there's more information in those as well. So just important to keep in mind, you want to carefully consider each of the options and carefully consider your situation and what your risk tolerance is, what your objectives are, what your savings for, what your savings are for. Keep those things in mind as you consider all these options that are available to you. Okay, now one last thing in this section I want to point to are the fees. So you can see there are fees. Fees vary a little bit depending on the portfolio selected. There's a $30 account maintenance fee that's for all accounts and for all portfolios. But then there's a range of other fees that can vary as well, depending on the portfolio. So here's an example of what fees might look like. So if you had $3,000 in an account, this is what your fees could look like over the year. So $30 account maintenance fee, $8.40 administrative fee for a total of $38.40. That would be for an FDIC insured portfolio. For one of the investment portfolios, there are additional investment and program management fees that'll vary depending on the portfolio. But either way, you can see the fees are actually pretty low, and very competitive for the situation. One thing we will point out, there are electronic statements that you can get for free. That's what I use. If you elect to have paper statements, if that's something you want to have, there's a $10 fee for that as well. But that would be dependent upon you. Okay, so let's talk about withdrawing from the account, and what you can use the account for. So if we can go to the next slide. Another question for the group. If folks can let us know what you're saving for.
Okay, I will end the poll and share these results. So some really great responses. This webinar, health and wellness, seems to be the primary saving goal, with 49% of people listing that. Recreation and vacation is also up there at 36%. That makes sense. I mean, it is summer, so I'm sure, if you have any summer plans, definitely keep your CalABLE account in mind. And then lots of people saving for technology or equipment, a first home, education, then a good amount of people saving in that other category. So maybe at the end of the webinar, when you get that survey, you can maybe put in what you're saving for if you listed other. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so a lot of different options. These are just some of the options that you can save for. But yeah, really appreciate the feedback. So before I talk about some of the other things, kind of the broad range of things that you can save for and spend your savings on, let's hear from our other special guest ambassador. So this is her video walking through how she uses her account.
I am 28 years old. I am a homeowner. I am a full-time student. About 5.5 years ago, I was a passenger in a car accident. And before I was injured, I wanted to become a police officer, but I'm in a wheelchair now. So I chose to become a police dispatch because I love talking to people and I feel like I'm able to calm them down and assure them that help is on the way. When I first heard about CalABLE, I thought it was a chance for me to be independent because I am disabled. I need a care assistant, do certain things for me. But with the CalABLE account, I'm able to start investing and start saving my own money without having to check in or ask for permission. I'm in charge of my own funds and savings. I currently use my CalABLE account for transportation. With my CalABLE account, I was able to buy my own wheelchair. It's still a power wheelchair, but it's manual. It can go in cars. So, that has maximized my mobility, the way that I'm able to make it to things that I wasn't able to make it to, like therapy, which is very important. In the future, I'll use my CalABLE account to afford unexpected expenses, like when I'll need a new wheelchair for transportation. CalABLE has helped me stay independent. We are CalABLE.
Okay, so yeah, so you can see how she's looking at how she's using her account, what she's saving for, what she's spending on, but there's a whole lot of stuff that you can use the account for. So this is by no means a comprehensive list of some of the things that you can use your CalABLE funds for: education, housing, transportation, vocational training, assistive technology, obviously health and wellness. Fun is fine too. Really, this is anything that's going to help you or the people you care about. If you're supporting someone else with their account, it's anything to help live your best life. Maximize health, independence, quality of life. So as you can see, these categories are intentionally broad. It's meant to include a lot of things because the goal is to not be restrictive, is to make sure that people can that people with disabilities have this option to be able to do a wide range of things without having to worry as much about their benefits. So we have, we have ambassadors. You've heard from Tianni and Curtis. You can hear from them more later too. But they're using their savings, their ABLE accounts for art and music therapy, um, buying a new car to support a wheelchair for their child, laptops, software for school, buying a home, those sorts of things. There's a lot of things you can use it for. It really just needs to be for the benefit of the account holder. Okay, next slide. So how do you access the money? So there's different options you can have. So you can get money out of your account through electronic withdrawals. You can load onto a prepaid debit card, which is great. I have one. It's nice. It's very convenient, and um, we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. You can get money via check, or you can set up monthly withdrawals. So there's a lot of different options for how you can access the money, which is great. So you have that extra versatility. Next slide, please. So the debit card. Debit card is a really great option. You can how it works is you take funds, and we'll take a look at how that works in just a moment. But you take funds out of your CalABLE account, you load it onto a prepaid debit card, and then you can use it for the same expenses as any other CalABLE funds. It works wherever you can use Visa cards. So extremely flexible and useful. You can also customize your spending. So you can, and this is helpful if you're supporting someone else with their debit card. So you can have a debit card for yourself. You can have and a debit card for the beneficiary, and you can set limits on how it works. Where the card will work, where it won't work. Some tools to avoid fraud or just inappropriate use, however that might look. And one really great and important thing, which is something that California does that other states don't do, so I'm very proud of it. We don't charge fees for this, so it's a great tool to have. You can have it on hand. You can easily access funds, and you can do so, very conveniently in a lot of different places. Okay, and then next slide, please. So what does it look like when you're trying to make a withdrawal? If you go to make a withdrawal, this is actually a screenshot from my Able account that we loaded on here. You can see that there's different options for how to withdraw from the account. The first option, you can transfer it to a bank account or a prepaid card. The prepaid card being that debit card. You can again, you can select if you want a check to go to the account owner, or you can check to go to the bill pay recipient. So these two different options for making the check. Okay, and next slide, please. Now, when you select what you want, in this case, it's a selected making a transfer to another bank account. You can choose from the bank accounts that are already connected to the account. You just go down and pick which one it is, or you can add a new one, and then you decide which portfolio to take the money from and how much. So it's really simple. It's really easy. If in this case there's only the one portfolio they're using, that's the FDIC account. But if there's other portfolios, those would show up there as well. Okay, and then so let's talk about using your account. So these are simply best practices. These are not requirements. CalABLE does not request or require receipts or anything like that. However, we do recommend that you maintain receipts. Really, just like with any other spending or anything else, but basically same best practices. So keep receipts in a safe and secure area. One good option is to scan them, and so you can store them on a computer digitally. Recommend organizing it by date, so you can easily pull them up. If you're using the prepaid debit card, you can directly upload photos of those receipts, which is really convenient. so you can see exactly how it was used at what time. Um, and recommend taking notes on those purchases, what you purchased, what the amount was, so that you can maintain these records. So the IRS recommends keeping records for 3 years from the date you filed your original return, or 2 years from the date you paid your tax. Um, uh, the accounts can be subject to IRS audit. Not that we've heard of any cases like this, but it can happen, just like with anything else. So always keep your receipts. Don't let you don't want the IRS to to come to you, and for you to have to find them in that moment. It's much better to just maintain your records going along. So this is true for CalABLE account. It's really true for anything, but we thought we'd highlight that. Okay. Now, so so let's go back over what we've talked about very briefly. So we've talked about there's a lot of different options for how to contribute, different sources that you can contribute from, so long as you remain under those caps. And again, great options for creating a gifting page to have others be able to contribute to those accounts as well. Once the money's in those accounts, we talked about your investment options, some of those portfolios that you can use. And so you can decide, it's in your hands. You can decide how you want to plan for the future, what level of risk you're willing to take, what your goals are. Those are all things that are supported by CalABLE. The third big category, withdrawing. You have different options for how you want to withdraw from the account. Whether it's a transfer, a check, or personal favorite, the prepaid debit card. And also we talked about the broad range of uses that you can use it for. Education and health and transportation and all those things, so long as it's for the benefit of the account holder, the beneficiary. So there's a lot of options there. But now we want to go ahead and hand it over to our guest ambassadors, so they can talk a little bit about what CalABLE means for them, how they've used the account, and hopefully folks can glean how it might be relevant to your situation. So, Madeline, take it away.
Great, thank you, Thomas. So we'll have our guest ambassadors come on now. Let's see. Tianni and Curtis, if you could, come on camera. Okay, hi Curtis, how are you doing today?
Oh, good.
Hi, so we already saw your video, but I would love if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am 42 years old. I'm from Northridge, California, and the CalABLE account, can help you save for financial future, for long-term investments and short-term. And I also very knowledgeable about the account and stuff. And if you want to have any questions, I can answer it for you.
Thank you, Curtis. Tianni,
Welcome.
if you could just share a few words about yourself, that'd be great.
Hi, I'm Tianni. I'm 28 years old. I live in Victorville, California. And I am an account holder as well. I've been having my account since about 2022. Yes. And I use it for any unexpected expenses that go wrong with my house, or if I need like transportation mobility, or just anything that my insurance doesn't cover, I can just cover it with my CalABLE account.
Yeah, and are there any specific items that you're currently saving for?
Right now, because I'm ready to drive now, so I'm just gonna get an accessible vehicle now. Yeah, I just got a new Hoyer lifter, put it in my house so I can get in my pool. And yeah, that's all that I have right now.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, it's been so hot lately that, yeah, having
So-
access to the pool will be nice. Yeah, Curtis, what about you? How are you using your CalABLE account?
Oh, I use it for like saving and using it for on groceries.
Is there anything specific that you're saving for?
Not right now, just saving for long term.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's definitely important to, be saving money and thinking for the long term for retirement for those things that you'll need later
It's
on.
good for emergency fund and all that.
Yeah, definitely. So Curtis, what is your favorite feature of your CalABLE account?
Oh, the favorite feature is where you could automatically set up your investment from your going from your checking account to the CalABLE account monthly.
Yes, definitely. We definitely want to encourage everybody to set up those recurring withdrawals so you can just set it and forget it. I mean, we even have a new feature right now called Weather Boosters, where you can set it so that when there's a weather event happening, it'll automatically contribute to your account. So that is definitely a great feature that we encourage everybody to check out. So what about you, Tianni? What is your favorite feature of your CalABLE account?
I will say the interest reinvestment. Yeah, I really like that. It encourages you to want to like really get involved with reinvesting your money.
Yeah, definitely. If you're comfortable, could you share maybe like how you picked your investment options?
Well, at first I was a little like confused about it because I never did it before. So I wanted to like do the safest one. And I think that that's the FDIC one. Yes. I started there and I'm just watching how it goes so I can get the hang of it, how it goes, and then maybe I'll change it to a more intense, reinvestment, but I just want to stay safe too. So I chose that.
Yeah, definitely. And even the FDIC does have interest growing on it, and it is tax-free growth. So even with that safe option, you're still growing your money. So it's a great option. So Tianni, what advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about opening a CalABLE account?
I will tell them because I know just by being disabled, there's a lot of restrictions. And so I just say, why wait to be financially free when you can start now? You just need to hurry up and get an account so that you can start, having independence.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to open up an account?
It probably took me about it was really quick. Like as soon as I had the money, I just created an account right then and there. Like maybe like not even the whole day. Like just because I was doing other things as well, but I'm pretty sure you could do one within like a few hours.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely, encourage people to get their information ready so that the process is really quick and easy. Yeah. Curtis, what about you? What advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about opening a CalABLE account?
Oh, the advice I would give is you should always research or talk to a good financial advisor before you invest in anything because it has involved risks and it can involve, like if you get bad advice, it's not good because then you might get discouraged and then say something. That's why you should research and get everything and then do your own advice. Don't listen to other people.
Yeah, well, the CalABLE website has a lot of information
Yes.
on it about the investments. So definitely encourage everybody to do their research, look at the options that work best for you. What works for one person is not going to work for everyone. So definitely, do your homework and make the decision that works best for you. Yeah, well, thank you both, Curtis and Tianni, for being on today. Very excited to have you. And if anybody has questions for Tianni and Curtis, you can put them in the Q&A, and I'm sure they would be happy to answer those questions. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. And yes, definitely, if you got questions, ask them now. What's great is that Tierney and Curtis, they're actually, they're using their accounts. They have these accounts, they set them up. They're about as expert as you can get at this point. And so if you got questions, now's the time to ask them. So with that said, I think if we can, yeah, thank you. So just a couple quick reminders that we'll go back through one more time, and then we'll open up to the Q&A section. First reminder, how to contact us. This is our contact information right here. This is for our customer service center, available 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's a great program. It's a great customer service center. For those with hearing impairments, you can contact that number via relay service. For those who speak other languages, like if you're supporting someone whose first language is in English, for example, you can help them out. You can direct them that way. There's a language program that supports, I don't even remember how many languages, dozens of languages, some huge amount of languages. There's a lot of support they can do. They're very helpful. They can walk you through, answer questions you have about how to use the program. You can also go online to their customer support page. And one more thing for contact, you can sign up for our emails and newsletters, everything else. If you go to that QR code that's on the screen right now. So if you scan that, that will get you on our list. Okay, and next slide, please. Speaking of contact, there's different ways to see what we're doing or to get information about us. Besides our website, of course, we have partner toolkits. So this is particularly relevant for any of you who are part of an organization that's looking to learn more about CalABLE or looking to, spread the good word. We have partner toolkits that are designed just for you. We also have our YouTube channel. We have brochures that we can hand out. We have our Twitter account, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of different ways to see what we're up to find out more information about CalABLE, about the program, and how people are using it. So please go take a look. And then on that note, this is our newsletter for next month. We have this monthly newsletter that monthly webinar, I should say. We have a monthly webinar. Each month we rotate the topics. Today was how to maximize your CalABLE account. Next month's webinar series is going to be about savings. So a little bit more information about how CalABLE works, a little bit more information about the savings and investment options, about financial literacy in general. So if you got questions on those, ask it today. But if you don't think of it and you think of it later, feel free to join the webinar or contact us like normal. And then last thing we'll mention before we get to the Q&A. So we do have these disclosures. These will be available for folks to take a look at. But the main takeaway being, again, we want to reiterate, we don't provide, we can't provide financial advice. We're providing options, and we encourage people to, like Curtis said, do your homework, take a look, see what works for you in your situation. And on that front, I'll just mention again, you can also you can decide if you're creating an account, you can decide one investment option. You can change at a later point, or you can contribute to a different portfolio too. So don't let that slow you down. You can create an account and then decide later on if you want to change it. So Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate everyone joining us. We had, like Madeline mentioned, we had a lot of questions, well over 100 questions. So apologies we couldn't get to all of them, but I know we got to quite a few. If you have any other questions, please reach out. Like Madeline said, our customer service line. Just feel free to contact us. We're more than happy to help. But otherwise, I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone joining us. Happy Disability Pride Month, and yeah. Let us know what you need. Please open an account if you don't have one. And if you do, please use it. Thank you.